Hi, this is Dora from Ninja Bunny Crochet. Today I have for us to do the grid stitch. This is a variant of the single crochet. This is a really great stitch. You can use this for washcloths, you can use it for scarves, you can use this for hats, blankets. This is just a really nice, fun, textured stitch. It looks the same on the front as it does on the back. So this is a great reversible stitch. It's really good for beginners as well as seasoned crocheters. So let's just grab our hooks and grab some yarn and let's start practicing the grid stitch. For today's tutorial, I'm going to be using some worsted weight yarn and a J 6.0 millimeter hook. It doesn't matter what size yarn you use or what size hook as long as your hook and your yarn match. The grid stitch is worked in a multiple of 2 plus 1. What that means is we're going to be chaining multiples of 2 till we get to the desired length that we want, and then we'll add one more stitch for a turning chain. So we're going to start with a chain of 19, which would be a multiple of 2, which would be 18 plus 1. So once you get your chain of 19, I'll meet back up with you and we'll start learning how to do the grid stitch. Now that we have our chain of 19, we're going to start second chain from hook. The loop on your hook does not count as a stitch, so we're going to go 1, 2, and this will be the chain that we're going to start our grid stitch in. You can work your chain like this to start, or if you want, you can flip your chain over and work in the back bars of the chain. I typically, when I start a project, I work in these back bars, but you don't have to do that. And since we're just learning this stitch and we're just practicing, I'm going to go ahead and work in the chain the regular way. So again, this loop doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to go 1, 2, and work into that second chain from hook and single crochet. We're going to skip the next chain and work 2 single crochets into the next. Skip the next chain and work 2 single crochets into the next. Skip the next chain and work 2 single crochets into the next. This will be the pattern, the repeat pattern, all the way down the chain. Skip the next chain, 2 single crochets into the next. Skip the next chain, 2 single crochets into the next. Continue working the pattern till you get to the end of the chain, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the chain. I'm at the end of the chain and we have 1 stitch left, and we're just going to place 1 single crochet into that chain. To start row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn the work. We're going to place 1 single crochet into that first stitch, skip the next stitch, and place 2 single crochets into the next. Skip the next stitch and place 2 single crochets into the next. Skip the next and place 2 single crochets into the next. Sorry, my yarn is balling up there. This will be the repeat pattern all the way down the row. Skip the next stitch, 2 singles in the next. Skip the next, 2 singles in the next. Please repeat this till you get to the end of the row, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the row. I'm at the end of row 2 and we have 1 stitch left, and we're going to place 1 single crochet into that last stitch to finish the row. and chain 1 and turn the work. And this, we're going to repeat row 2 again for however long you want your piece. So we're going to single crochet into that first stitch, skip the next one, and 2 single crochets into the next. Skip the next stitch and 2 single crochets into the next. Skip the next stitch and 2 single crochets into the next. And that's all you have to do. You just keep repeating that. Skip the next stitch, 2 single crochets into the next, skip the next, 2 single crochets into the next. Continue that till you get to the end of the row, and I'll show you one more time how to finish the row. I'm at the end of row 3. We have 1 stitch left, and we're just going to place a single crochet into that stitch to finish off the row. Then we chain 1 and turn the work. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a few more rows so you can see how this stitch builds up, and I'll be right back. I have added a few more rows on, and you can really see how the texture is starting to come out. And let me bring back the larger example for you to see as well. And as you can see, they both look very lovely. So if you've liked this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that bell. Thanks for watching, and happy crocheting! Bye-bye!